We did about $10 million in revenue that year. We have three core values that we live and die by, and that's growth, discipline, and go-giver. We're never going to achieve anything without some level of discipline. And I tell all my guys that come here that if all you do is come to Aspire and make a fuck ton of money, we failed. We teach our guys how to do everything cradle to grave. We're essentially training them to go open up their own roofing company. There really is no cut and dry roadmap. A lot of it comes from being able to set goals and cast a vision and then be able to reverse engineer that vision. Roofing is not rocket science, right? But to be able to do it at scale is where the skill comes in and the in-depth knowledge comes in. Because again, it's easy to do one, but tell me how you do 5 a day. As the founder, as the CEO, I'm the lid of this business. Meaning if my vision isn't big enough, if my drive isn't big enough, if my goals aren't big enough, then why would somebody with bigger drive, bigger ambition, bigger goals, bigger fill in the blank, why would they come work at Aspire? And it's like, they wouldn't. The quality of the business will always be 100% contingent on the quality of the people within it. You have shitty people, you have a shitty business. You have great people, you have a great business. And so for us, personal development is really a cornerstone of everybody here.
Hey everyone, you're tuning into the Vast Track podcast where we talk with builders, leaders, and creators who are rethinking the way construction gets done. I'm your host, Billy Basuni, and today I'm joined by Mick Coluccio, founder of Aspire Contracting based out of Tempe, Arizona. Mick started his career in door-to-door sales and ended up building one of the most reputable insurance restoration roofing companies in the Southwest area. He's been through trenches, rebuilt from scratch, and now leads a lean, sales-driven, high-performing team. Pumped to have you here. How's it going today?
Great, man. Great. Excited to be on. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm pumped. So tell us more about Aspire Contracting, man. What do you guys do? How did you guys get started? Tell us more about your background in Aspire Contracting.
Yeah, absolutely. So Aspire started about 3 years ago. We are an insurance-based roofing company. So primarily the work that we do is insurance restoration. And it's been great. Our team has been growing. We got a bunch of great dudes here that are on their way to be super successful, and it's exciting.
Tell us more about how you started up. I know you've shared with me a little bit on the side, but I think it's a super inspirational story about how you went from starting with a different company, right? And then you started on your own. What drove you? What inspired you really to wanting to start Aspire?
Yeah, man. So I got into the roofing industry about 7 years ago. And I worked for another company, and at that company, a similar model as ours, where we do everything cradle to grave, meaning I create my own leads, I do all my own estimating, I do all my own material orders, I manage the projects out in the field, I do all my own invoicing, and I manage the profitability of those projects. And so learned everything cradle to grave. And at that company, I also had the opportunity to recruit and train and lead a sales team. And so the year before I left, the team that I had built, we did about $10 million in revenue that year, which was about a quarter of what that company did that year. I was looking at it, and I was looking at the numbers, and ultimately I felt that there was a better way to do it. And so I ended up parting ways with that company, and man, I was nervous to jump out on my own. It was so funny when one of my business partners here was on my team at that time, and as soon as he had gotten word that I was leaving, he called me and he said, "Hey man, I'm coming by to grab a stack of contracts." And I was like, "What are you talking about, dude?" And he was like, "What are you talking about, brother? Like, I'm coming with you." And I was like, "Dude, I haven't even installed my first roof yet. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing." And so like that first year was really just me like cutting my teeth, making a lot of mistakes, just trying to figure out, like, they write a lot of books on business, and I've read a lot of books on business, but like, dude, there really is no like cut and dry roadmap. A lot of it comes from like being able to set goals and cast a vision and then be able to reverse engineer that vision to figure out the steps that you need to take to get your business where you want to go, because it's my business isn't going to go exactly where someone else's business is going to go, because we have different goals, we have different intentions in how we want to grow our organizations. And so I really had to figure out, like, what do I want to accomplish with this business, and then what are the steps I need to do to what are the steps I need to take to get it there.
Right, right. I mean, for people, from the outside looking at, especially if it's not like non-construction, right? They might see, oh, roofing, that seems pretty straightforward, right? You knock on some doors, or you see that roof's messed up, then you hire a roofing contractor, you go and reach out to Aspire. But what's something about the business that people often misunderstand about roofing?
That there are a million moving parts going on all at the same time, in order to get that project to fruition. Um, I was just talking to a buddy of mine about an hour ago who owns a company out in Southern California, and we were talking about operations and how to set up the operations of a company, um, and when we were talking, I was like, dude, there's so much crossover between departments. Sales needs to be able to speak with finance, and finance needs to be able to speak with production, and production needs to be able to speak with HR, and HR needs to speak. And it's like there's so much crossover, like, in this web, and it often looks like a duck on the surface, right? So it's like you see, like, duck on the surface of the lake, but underneath, like, they're just paddling like crazy. And like that's often what it seems like. Hopefully, like, to our customers, it looks like it's a seamless project, and a lot of them are, but there's just so much work behind the scenes that goes into making that happen. And so really, like, when it comes down to it, dude, it's to put on one roof isn't hard. Roofing is not rocket science, right? But to be able to do it at scale is where the skill comes in, and the in-depth knowledge comes in. Because again, it's easy to do one, but tell me how you do 5 a day.
Right, right. And I want to tap into your mindset a little bit, right? I did a little bit of research on you. You seem to be really big on personal development, wealth creation. I can really sense that your approach to achieving your goals is really methodical and, in a sense, philosophical, right? Can you talk about a little bit about how you developed that mindset, and then also how critical is it that you're implementing this into your business?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I love this stuff. Um, I there's a guy by the name of Brandon Dawson who works with Grant Cardone, owns 10X Ventures. Um, man, and he talks about how, as the founder, as the CEO, I'm the lid of this business, meaning nobody in the organization is going to grow past me in any area, right? So it's like I am the cap, I am the ceiling. If my vision isn't big enough, if my drive isn't big enough, if my goals aren't big enough, then why would somebody with bigger drive, bigger ambition, bigger goals, bigger fill in the blank, why would they come work at Aspire? And it's like they wouldn't. So
Right,
my job is to continue to grow, because if I stop growing as an individual, the business stops growing, right? Like, I am limited at everything that I know. So it's like there's everything I know, there's everything I know that I don't know, and then there's everything that I don't know that I don't know. And like that is infinitum. So it's like I'm on a constant mission to like take in knowledge um that will end up, being able to be implemented into my business and help create more opportunity for everybody on the team.
what are some of the main ideas and um, inspirational okay, I like ideologies that you've learned and that you really plug into the business? Like, is there, some five golden rules that, you're the company that, what is that culture that you're trying to create with your employees and your company?
Yeah, I mean, I think so much of it comes down to personal development, like we were talking about. At the end of the day, all a business is a group of people That's it. Like at its very core, it's like a business is just made up of, and so the quality of the business will always be 100% contingent on the quality of the people within it. You have shitty people, you have a shitty business. You have a great people, you have a great business. And so for
Right.
us, personal development is really a cornerstone of everybody here. Um, we have three core values that we live and die by, and that's growth, discipline, and go giver.
Go Giver. Can you elaborate on that one?
So have you ever read The Go Giver?
I have not.
Okay, so it is my number one favorite book. If I could recommend a book to anybody, especially in business, it is The Go Giver. And the concept of the Go Giver is that I give more in value than I receive than I receive in payment or compensation, right? And so it's all about being able to give value, give value, give value. And if you're open to the law of reciprocity, you'll end up coming back tenfold. And so it's huge for us. It's how I've lived my life. It is one of my favorite books. One of our core values is based on it. And it's doing things like talking to my buddy who runs a company in California, and he's running all these issues by me and problems, and I'm on the phone with him for an hour trying to help him work through these things. Not because I'm like, hey, you need to pay me for my time, or because I need anything from him. I don't. It's like I just want to give because so many people gave to me. Like so many people took the time to help me through problems and help me understand things, and that it's like I feel like a responsibility that's like I owe it to like give value back wherever I can.
That's awesome, man. I mean, yeah, there's the idea of paying it forward, and the more I speak to people that are in positions of power, the more I realize that these people are huge givers, and it seems to be this unspoken thing that goes around in the universe, and I don't know if you want to call it karma, but you see these people who you would think have uh, come to this place where they have a lot of power, money, wealth, whatever you want to call it. But it's probably because they've given a lot, and it seems to be a constant trend that I'm seeing as I'm speaking to these folks like yourself, who really just focuses on, not focus on, but it really has a giving as part of their core values. So it seems like you're on the right track, man, to bigger abundance in the future and within your company as well.
100%.
Um,
I think
it
you
was,
nailed it on the head with it. It just comes down to the law of abundance, right? It's
yeah,
like um that's why I believe probably a lot of the people that you've spoken to are where they're at is because they live abundantly, and
yeah,
they don't believe that like there's a scarcity of opportunity or scarcity of knowledge or scarcity of relationships. It's like um people can call me all the time and ask. I'm a pretty open book, like you can ask me any questions, you can ask me about my business, and there's been people that I'll open up my P&L to. Because like I just believe in abundance. I believe there's enough business, enough money, enough opportunity for all of us.
right, right. It goes around, comes around. You talked about discipline, right? There's one quote that I heard you say. You said, "The more discipline you have, the more freedom that you have." Elaborate more about how you instill discipline within yourself and also within the people around you in the company.
Yeah, absolutely. So I believe discipline comes down to integrity, because if I can't keep my word with myself, when I tell myself that I'm going to do something, how can I keep my word with you? And so what it comes down to is just having a level of integrity that when I tell myself that I'm going to wake up at a certain time, when I tell myself I'm going to go to the gym, when I tell myself that I'm going to eat a certain meal plan or whatever it is, like when I tell myself that, I know my word is bond and I won't break my word. And so for
Right.
me, it's like that's how I built discipline, is just having integrity with myself first and foremost. And then when it comes to my team,
Right.
um, I believe that discipline kicks in when motivation fails, because motivation will fail. Almost all of the business that Aspire generates is door to door sales, meaning I've got guys that are out right now in the field going door to door to door to door to door, going through rejection, 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 rejection. Now, motivation isn't going to carry you through all of it, right? There comes a point when it's like, I don't want to go knock doors, or I don't want to go to the gym, or whatever it is. And that's when discipline kicks in. is when the motivation is no longer there. It's easy to do stuff when you're super motivated, but that's not where the rubber meets the road. The rubber meets the road when the motivation leaves. And then you're faced with a decision. Am I going to keep my word or am I not?
Right. And if you're doing anything to implement this into, I mean, it sounds like you are, into Aspire. I mean, it probably just goes to show how reliable you guys are, for your customers in the long run. What goes around comes around. You're gonna be fed with more opportunity. Sounds
Absolutely.
like you got the right found.
At the end of the day, like, you're never going to achieve anything without some level of discipline. Like,
Right.
point blank, period. And I tell all my guys that come here is that if all you do is come to Aspire and make a fuck ton of money, we failed. If you don't come here and you don't become a better husband, a better father, a better son, a better friend, a better fill in the blank, then I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Right? Because I can teach people how to make money. I've been teaching people how to make money for a while. That's the easy part. The impactful part to me is when one of my guys comes and says, "Hey, dude, I just put a deposit down on a wedding venue," because that was one of the goals that we set together at the turn of the year. And he kept the discipline in order to make the money and then also go look for venues and then go find one and put the money down. Right. And so, like, that's where it's impactful for me, is when we can develop character and we can develop these traits, and it's like, cool, we're making money, but it's like the money is whatever. It's like I'm a better version of myself because I work at Aspire.
That's incredible, man. I mean, it sounds like you not only are you teaching people how to make money, but you're asking them the deep questions like the why. Why do you want to make money? Why do you want to, have all these funds? What is your main purpose? What's going to fulfill you? Um, that's incredible, man. Super inspirational. It sounds like, people who get on board with your company have more to look forward to other than just getting a paycheck every month. And yeah, it sounds like a almost like a bonus to be able to work for you and not only get the paycheck, but have a little bit of personal development too, and build character.
I do.
So
I hope so. You know what I mean? I hope that's the way the team feels.
that's awesome.
Because at the end of the day, dude, like we really give a fuck. Like, we really care about our guys. Again, like, we can make all the money in the world, but like, it doesn't mean anything if you go home and the relationship with your wife is on the rocks, you know?
Yeah.
I just believe, coming back to the abundance, I was having a conversation with one of my business partners last week, and I was talking to him. I was like, dude, you live an or life. I can be successful or I can have a good relationship. I can have a great business or I can be in shape. Right. And it's like, I don't live an or life. I live an and life, meaning I can have a good relationship with my wife, and I can have a good business, and I can be in shape. And, I think all things can be true. It doesn't have to be a trade off. And so when I can show people, like, you can live an and life, like, you can have it all, like, everything that you dream of, you don't like have to sacrifice one for the other. Like, you can have it all.
Yeah. And to think about it too, you're investing in these people and you're getting really the return on it, because not only are you developing them, but you're like, not only do you get to uh, kind of you get to reap the benefits of having good quality, high character people. You probably get to retain them too, right? Because they want to work for you. They want to keep going to the well of knowledge and wealth that Aspire has to offer, and it only gives you this return for your business, because there's a lot of issues with great people out there who work for these companies who don't value them, right? And then they end up running, and that's almost a start of a downfall for some companies. So yeah, I just think you gotta that's it's a great head over your shoulders. Obviously, you're starting. Well, you already are doing. You're not just starting Aspire, but you're continuing to grow in a way where it's with a very strong foundation, and continue to building those blocks on top of that.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you. I think, I agree, dude. It's a pleasure to be in the
yeah,
position that I'm in, and to be part of some of these guys' journeys. And, um, we've had some dudes that have rode through us through thick and thin, because it hasn't always been pretty, and we've had to pivot several times. So, yeah, dude, we've had some people that have really stuck it out for us, and And I believe that it's because, they know we believe in them, and they know that we're always going to do right by them, and we'll always pour into them every chance we get.
Yeah, sounds like you really enjoy it too. So that's that's amazing. Oh, hats off to you, man. Let's zoom back out a little bit here. Talk about Aspire and again the business. So you mentioned you guys do a lot of insurance restoration as a big part of your business. What does that process typically look like for you and the homeowner? If I guess other give us a little bit of a tidbit of what a customer would uh, go through and experience if they had a situation like this.
Yeah, absolutely. So first thing from a customer, they're probably going to see one of my guys smiling faces knocking on their door. Um, and they're gonna say something like this. I'll role play with you for a little bit to kind of show you what it looks like. So they'll knock on the door.
Hello?
Hey sir, how you doing? My name is Mick. I'm with Aspire Contracting. Hey, have any of your neighbors told you what we've been doing in the area?
Not really. No, I haven't heard of anything.
No, okay, awesome. So we've actually been getting some of your neighbors new roofs, and the insurance company's been paying for it. Sounds awesome, right?
Sounds like a pretty sweet deal. Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, I noticed that you had some similar damage as Miss Jones, just 3 doors down. Look, I'm not sure if it qualifies for what we're doing, but what I'll do is I'll go grab my ladder real quick. I'll hop up there. I'll come knock back on the door when I'm done.
Okay. Does this cost anything or?
Not at all. Not at all. All I'm here to do is to take a look at your roof. No obligation. See if you guys have any qualifying damage. If you do, what I'll do is I'll hop back down. I'll show you that. And then I'll tell you what the steps we have to take in order to walk through this process.
Sure. Okay.
Awesome. And so then we grab our ladder, hop up on the roof, grab some pictures. We're looking for wind damage or hail damage. And then we document that. We come back down. We show them the damage. We say, hey, we're going to go through some basic paperwork with you. So what we do is we go into a contingency agreement. Now, what this contingency agreement states is that you're only responsible for your deductible. Your insurance company is going to pay the rest. And if your insurance company does not approve your roof, you don't owe us a red cent. So it's like there's no risk to you, right? Like if your insurance company says we're not going to pay you anything, you don't owe me anything. I only get paid if I can get your insurance company to cover your roof in full. Does that sound fair?
Gotcha. Yeah, sounds like a good deal.
Yep. So what we'll do is we'll go through contingency agreement, sign them up. We'll give their insurance company a call. Now, we work with every single carrier. We let them know the damage. We let them know what date that damage happened. And then what they're going to do is they're going to send out an insurance adjuster. Now, I tell every customer, not having a licensed contractor and an insurance adjustment is like going to court without an attorney. Your insurance company is not in the business of cutting you checks. Most people know this because most people have, had to deal with insurance in some form or fashion. So my job is to make sure that your insurance company documents all the damage done to your property from that recent storm. And my job is also to make sure that they pay for that. And so what they do is they assign an insurance adjuster. Insurance adjuster calls out, customer calls us up. Hey, the insurance adjuster is going to be out here Tuesday at 10 a.m. Beautiful. I'll be there. We meet the insurance company out there and we walk them through the damages. At the end of the day, the insurance company is going to make the final call, but we're not just throwing shit at the wall. We're not here to waste the customer's time, the insurance company time, or quite frankly, our time. So we're only having our customers report that damage if we do believe that there's qualifying damage on the roof. Now, the insurance company is actually going to be the one coming up with the estimate, and we do the work for what the insurance company allows. We use the same estimating software. It's called Xactimate. Now, what Xactimate does is it pulls the median market price per line item per zip code. But when I type in a line item on that software, like Drip Edge, and they type in a line item, Drip Edge, it's producing the same price. So we're not going back and forth about price. We just have to make sure the insurance company includes all of the legitimate line items.
Right.
And so what will happen is the insurance company comes out. Hopefully, first go around, they say, hey, we're going to approve this roof in full. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they pay for repairs. That's where we come in. We do things like repairability attempts, sending off discontinued materials, and really making the argument as to why that roof needs to be replaced in full. That's what our guys are really, really, really good at, is overturning those repairs into full replacements. Now, the insurance company is going to cut a check. It's called the ACV check. They're going to give you a little bit of money to get the work started. We come pick that money up. We order materials. We put them on your roof. Our crew comes out. We knock your roof out in a day or two. Super quick. We're in and out of your hair. Once that's done and you're super happy, you're going to say, Mick, I'm super happy with my new roof. It looks fantastic. Your crew is great, but I only gave you a little bit of money. What about the rest of it? What we do is we send a final invoice into the insurance company so that they release the depreciation. The insurance company used to cut the full check, but then, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner were thinking about buying a new boat, and all of a sudden that roof wasn't as important as the new boat. And so the insurance company holds on to a little bit of that money to make sure that the homeowner is actually getting the work done. And so once we've completed the work, we send over a final invoice, insurance company releases the rest of that money, and then us and the customer settle up.
Gotcha. So do you still deal with Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner to get your invoices paid, or do you work directly with the insurance company?
We work with the insurance company. So the insurance company is
Oh,
going
even easier.
the insurance company sends the homeowner the checks, and then the homeowner signs the checks over to us.
Gotcha. But that makes it so much easier because then you're dealing with, especially if you already know the ins and outs of how the insurance works, um, it just makes it more seamless for you to also get your payment.
100%. And
Right?
that's when I'm talking to my homeowners, like I tell them the hardest thing that you're going to have to do in this process is pick out a shingle color. We're going to handle all the rest.
Yeah, it's an all-in-one package. I mean, it's hard to say no when you already understand what they need to do. Because as a customer, you don't know these processes. No one wants to deal with insurance. It's confusing. It's a hassle.
Mhm.
So the fact that you understand that process, I think, gives you an edge, right? And it gives you this whole pipeline of business as well,
Yeah,
and this whole market.
absolutely. I mean, the average deductible here in Arizona is $1,000, and
Mm.
that our average ticket price is 28,000. So we're able to get someone a $20,000-$30,000 roof for $1,000 out of pocket.
$1,000. Yeah,
I can't think of a better deal. Not only is it
yeah,
protecting your biggest investment, your home,
right,
right, but it's also adding value to it.
right,
So it's really
right.
it's a no-brainer. I think the biggest like hurdle for us is just building that trust, right? Because
Mhm.
and that's what we hammer home with our guys is, we're a random person knocking on your door. You don't know
Yeah,
me, right? And we'll talk about this process, and it sounds too good to be true. But that's where we have to leverage, our previous customers that we've worked with and really have conviction in what we do because, we get people new roofs paid for by the insurance company every single day.
right. So are you guys really just doubling down on insurance-based roofing, or are you guys looking to add more service lines in the future at all?
Service lines as in like other trades.
Yeah, or just other types of roofing projects, right, outside of insurance-based ones.
We do a little bit of retail for sure. Not
You
not
do.
everything does qualify for insurance, right? So if it doesn't qualify for insurance, we're not going to come down and tell you to file a claim. If you just have an old roof that's just aged out, it's not going to qualify for insurance. But we do retail, and we do have some financing partners, and so that is something that we do. The bulk of it is just insurance. I would like to grow the retail side a bit, for obviously when storms aren't as prevalent. So definitely adding in a little more retail roofing. But as far as like other trades go, we really just want to stick to roofing. It's been our bread and butter, and I just feel that there's so much more we can accomplish within roofing before throwing something else in the mix that we got to figure out from scratch.
Yeah, no, I mean, the riches are in the niches, right?
Yeah.
That's you got to focus on that. So, I mean, it sounds like, you already have the expertise and it's really a matter of just growing and scaling. And let's touch on that real quick. How do you see yourself growing and scaling in the next, 3 to 5 years? Where do you want to take this business to grow it even more?
We've got some really massive plans when it comes to growing and scaling. We're currently rolling out a model that I haven't seen done in the roofing industry yet. Where we're giving our guys, our project managers who are coming in and they're selling and they're building teams just like I did, opportunities to earn equity, which is massive. Because at the end of the day, we teach our guys how to do everything cradle to grave. We're essentially training them to go open up their own roofing company. And if that's
Hmm.
what we're training them to do, why don't we just give them the opportunity to do it, but do it with us? Because we would rather collaborate than compete. And I would rather have a small slice of a watermelon than a big piece of a grape. And so for me, it's like, again, it's providing that opportunity, which no matter what part of, the no matter where you fall, whether you just want to come in and you want to make a really, really good living selling roofs, great. We're the place for you. Or you want to come in and you want to build a team and you want to train people and recruit people and show them, everything that they can get by being in the roofing industry, awesome. We're the place for you. And if you want to take that last step and you want to be in an ownership position, beautiful. We're the place for you. So it's really
Yeah.
providing that opportunity at any level of the spectrum.
Any challenges to get there? What are the challenges to grow and scale to where do you want to be?
Oh, for sure. There's challenges. There will always be challenges. There will always be challenges, man. It's
I guess what's the biggest roadblock for you right now from being able to what's the biggest what's the biggest um blockage in your systems or your pipeline to be able to to achieve that next big milestone?
ultimately, I think our biggest block right now is recruiting, is just simply like having enough guys because we have some really good leaders in place that are running teams that are doing great. And if we can just get them more guys and get them to a level where they can then break off and start their own location, I think we'll be off to the races. I believe we found a good solution for this. We just hired a recruiter, started on Monday. So I'm confident that she's going to be able to help us overcome uh, that block. But I think, it there's going to be such a massive learning curve, right? When it comes to really like managing numerous locations, and then when it comes to jumping out of state, and then when it comes to growing across the country, right? Like there's always going to be different challenges at every step of the way. Um, but I'm extremely confident that no matter what challenge we stumble into, like as a team, like we'll be able to find a solution. It's what we've been doing thus far, and I don't see any reason why we would not be able to overcome challenges moving forward.
Yeah, I mean you've dealt with more difficult situations, built this business from scratch. You've had endless work weeks, right? What's just trying to train a not to uh, demoralize their role, but what I'm trying to say is it sounds like you guys can work through it and figure it out.
I believe
So
so.
when you're saying you're recruiting more people, like recruiting more people to become your PMs and your project managers so that you can have more sales and have more projects, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, absolutely. So a buddy of mine, who's really big in the door-to-door space, his name is Sam Taggart. Phenomenal dude. He created something called the D formula, which is um number of doors times closing percentage times reps, like sales reps, equals money. And if you can increase any single one of those, you can grow your business. If I have 10 guys and they knock 25 doors a day and I can get them to knock 50 doors a day, business grows. If I've got
Right.
10 guys and they knock 25 doors, but they only close at 30%, but I get them to close at 50%, business grows. Now, if I have 20 guys that knock 25 doors a day at a 30% closing ratio, business grows again. So our goal is let's not raise one of those, let's raise all three of those. But I think the most impactful one to raise is the number of reps. So the more people that we can, bring onto the team, the more people that we can show how to be successful, you know what I mean? The more opportunity we're able to create for everyone.
Right on, right on. Love that. For you guys, with this new era of digital transformation and can't go anywhere without hearing AI anywhere, you guys implementing any new tools in your processes at all, or you're sticking to kind of what's been working for you?
Yeah, we haven't really integrated like a ton of AI like into the organization. We utilize things like ChatGPT every day. But as far as really like involving AI, that's kind of as far as we've gotten with it. But I do believe like it'll have a huge impact um on the industry moving forward.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if it's not broken, don't fix it, kind of thing, right? And it sounds like you got a working system. You have proven solutions. So It sounds like it's a matter of just really finding those folks who are willing to take a chance on you,
Yeah,
right? Willing to take a chance on Aspire. And then from there, you integrate all the systems, all the values that you guys have in place, and then you develop that person into this high character, high integrity personnel that can, in return, give you guys success and also give them a path towards success. So,
100%. I
um,
think the way that you just summarized that is perfect. That's
yeah,
that's exactly the game plan right there. Um, and what's cool, man, is I don't focus as much on like my success, right? Or like what it's doing for me or how much money it's bringing me. It's for me, it's like the focus is really on them. Because when I think about it, it's not let me get more reps so I can get a bigger company. It's like let me show these guys what they can do with their life through roofing sales because someone showed me and it changed my life. And I've seen it change countless lives. Like all of my friends are in roofing. I say like if you're my friend, you either have sold roofs for me, do sell roofs for me, or will sell roofs for me. Because at the end of the day, it's, especially getting into roofing, it's like I had friends that were, waiting tables or working at call centers or, they were just miserable and they were in dead end jobs and they hated it. And I was able to help get them into the roofing industry and show them what it's about. And, I've got a lot of friends that make really, really good money because of the roofing industry. And it's just, I've just seen it change lives over and over again. So for me, it's really about being able to show people that opportunity about how they can change their lives. And I know if I just keep doing that, then Aspire will be all right.
awesome, awesome. We'll make. We are out of time, unfortunately, but this has been a super powerful conversation. Really respect your journey and how you built Aspire, how you're continuing to build Aspire, how intentional you've been, not just growing the business, right, but leading with values and building a culture that really shouts excellence, high integrity, high character, like we talked about. For folks who want to reach out to you, connect with you, learn more about Aspire, maybe become one of your PMs, what's the best way to reach out to you, man?
Yeah. Instagram is going to be the best way to reach me at Mick Coluccio.
Okay. I will also link that in the description below. But again, Meg, thanks for joining. It's been a blast hearing your journey, man, and your story. Super excited to keep following where Aspire goes next.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate you having me.